Welcome back to F.O.A. Math. Today we're going to be applying order of operations to one of the most beloved word board games of all time.
What could that board game be? Chess, checkers, or Scrabble? What could that board game be? Catan, Monopoly, or Scrabble? What could that board game be? Risk, Blockers, or Scrabble? What could that...
It's Scrabble! It's Scrabble!
It's Scrabble.
That's right, today we're talking about Scrabble. For those of you who know how to play Scrabble, feel free to skip this next section. But for those who don't, here's the rundown. Scrabble is a crossword style game where you try to make words using the 7 letters on your rack and the letters out on the board. Every time you lay down letters to form a word, you replenish your tiles from a randomized letter sack. You take turns with your opponent, slowly expanding upon the crossword until there are no more letters in the letter sack, and someone can't make any more words. You always have to lay down on the same word, and it must be attached to other words on the board. All words formed by a placement must also be valid words. Now each letter has a number of points associated to it based on its rarity. Q is rare, so there's only 1 in the letter sack, and it's worth 10 points. Whereas E is common, so there's around 12 in circulation, worth only 1 point each. There's also blank tiles that you can use for any letter you want, but they are worth 0. When you play a word, you get points for every letter involved in the word. Play things smart, and you can get points for making several words in one go. But letter points alone aren't the only way to rack up your score. There are a few types of special tiles. Letter score multipliers. These bad boys either double or triple the points a letter gets you. Word score multipliers. These badder boys either double or triple the points you would have earned in the word. Using clever combos of these specific letter tiles, you can earn massive scores. Also, the first word laid gets a double word score, and any words you play where you use all 7 of your rack letters, you get what's called a bingo, and so you can slap on an extra 50 points onto your score for that round. Okay, now that we know everything about Scrabble, let's get to the math. So let's just start with laying a word down with no score modifiers. The expression to calculate the score is just a simple sum. Now, what if we place the word down on a double letter score? To calculate the score, we need to modify our expression to double the points that letter earned. It gets a little more interesting if we want to write an expression for our score when we get a double or triple word score. Since we need to find the value of the word, before we double it, we need to use our parentheses to ensure the pre-doubled score gets calculated first. This is an excellent example of how parentheses can naturally arise when we're trying to model the order of a real-life situation. What about this example? How many points do you think this will earn? How should we deal with having 2 double word scores? We simply multiply the word score by 2 twice, and since we use 7 letters, we also can tack on an additional 50 for the bingo. Scrabble is a great game, and it's also a great example of how real-world calculations with multiple parts give rise to an order the calculations must be performed in, which we can easily model with order of operations. So for some practice, I'm going to show you the first few plays of a Scrabble game. What I want you to do is for each word played, write down an expression with the proper order of operations that represents how to calculate the points each play earns. Our first play is Freak. Hey, that was my high school nickname. After each word played, make sure to pause the video to write the points expression before I say it. Okay, so for Freak, K earns a double letter score, so we multiply its 5 points by 2. And since it's the first word played, as resembled by the star in the middle, we also get a double word score. The next play is Breeze. B has a triple word score, and so does the Z, so we multiply each of their points by 3. After that, player 1 returns with Snippy. This play also extends Freak into Freaky, so it makes 2 words. For Freaky, we add up all the letters. The double word score and the double letter score it previously earned don't get calculated again. And then we added that to the points for Snippy. The P earns a double letter score, and the S snags a double word score. Then player 2 responds with Orb. This seemingly small play is actually pretty efficient for only 2 letters used, as it makes not 1, not 2, but 3 different words. In addition to Orb, player 2 made the words or and be. Now let's calculate the score for each word. For or, the O gets a double letter score. For orb, the O and the B get a double letter score. And for be, the B gets a double letter score. Then we add up the score for each of these words formed. Player 1 slams down Squinted. Here they are using the blank tile to represent a T. This play is crazy because they get 2 double word scores, which will pair deliciously with that cue. And they used all 7 of their tiles, which means they get a bonus 50 points for their trebles. Keep in mind as well, the blank tile earns no points. Feeling slightly deflated, player 2 responds with the word night. The I earns a double word score, and the T earns a triple word score. Well, that's going to do it for examples and for this video. I hope you enjoyed that fun little application of order of operations. If you have Scrabble, you have a great opportunity to do some practice writing out expressions like this. And if you don't have Scrabble, you should totally get it. It's a great board game that's a lot of fun to play with friends. Although I might be a little bit biased because I did start a Scrabble club in high school. Anyways, that's going to do it for me today. You have a good one, you stay groovy, and I'll see you in that next video. Letter set.